Let's talk more about those numbers now. We've got Makwe Masilela from Makwe Fund Managers joining us this evening. Makwe, quite an interesting trading day on the local bourse. It was a positive throughout early afternoon trade, but ended off the day, one would say, rather flat. What would you make of today's trading?
Good afternoon to you. It's a question of reality kicking in as you expect that interest rate decision coming out from the Fed tomorrow. And remember, today we also had the Swedish bank surprising us with a 1% increase. And we know we've got other central bankers as well who are expecting to raise their interest rates. So markets are just worried more about the remarks that might be coming out of those central bankers, because if those remarks continue to be very hawkish, then definitely that's not going to be good for the markets going forward.
And absolutely, we've got our own central bank announcing that interest rate decision on Thursday. Makwe, the Rand, this unit has been doing very badly over the last few days. Today, teetering between 1772 and 1777 against the US dollar. Is it genuinely just a dollar story, or are market participants really worried about the ESCOM situation?
Mainly the US story, the US dollar story, and yes, obviously the issue about ESCOM continues to have an impact, and also the fact that the commodity prices have not been doing okay. Remember, the rand is more sensitive to commodity prices, and don't even forget that the dollar itself, now lately, it has been acting like a force of nature, more of like following Newton's first law, that an object which is in motion will stay in motion up until it gets to be acted on by an external force. So for the fact that we expect the US economy to do better than other economies, for the fact that we expect the US central bank to continue to increase interest rates aggressively, so that interest rate differential continues to play a significant role, as we've seen what is also happening with the Japanese yen. So back home here as well, we hope that our central bank will act in such a way that they maintain that interest rate differential between us and the US economy.
What do you think about what MTN and Vodacom have raised as concerns in terms of a lot of their operational capital now going to the likes of batteries, fuel, generators because of the load shedding? Surely this is going to put unnecessary pressure on these mobile telecoms.
Definitely already is doing that. As you said, into the likes of Vodacom, they've already spent over 2 billion. But it's not only the increasing cost of doing business for those companies, it's also us customers, as we know that connectivity is very important. And even now lately that people now are used to be doing things online. So it's making our lives more hard. And as we know, then business gets to be affected. It's not only them. So we have that multiplier effect because consumers as well gets to be affected negatively. And I think this is a serious thing because people are encouraging people to start doing things online. But if you cannot rely on those network providers, then what else?
That's right. And of course, another component here is that point of sales at grocery stores, Makwe, are not working because of the load shedding. So people have ditched their trolleys and gone home without their shopping. A final one, some company news. Thungela being able to reach a wage agreement with NUM. 6% is quite decent given the current environment. Unlike the other miners, Makwe, there was no big fight or dispute here, and they were happy to go above 5% in their negotiations. What did you make of that?
I think the significant thing here is that employee share scheme that they have, the trust that they have, that their employees get to share from that. And also, other than that 6% increase that I agreed to, the guys also agreed that rewards that gets to flow have to be shared or distributed the very same year. Unlike before, they had to wait for 3 years to vest before they can be distributed to the employees. So I think that one as well played a significant role that the employees will immediately share when it comes to the profits of the company the minute the company decides to declare dividends. And so far we've seen the guys have been declaring very decent dividends.
Very decent indeed, Makwe Masilela. Thank you, as always, for your time. That is Makwe Masilela from Makwe Fund Managers joining us this evening with the business update.